Okay. All right, guys. In fact, we are live, Andrew. So, can you hear us?
We are
We are
live for
live.
1
We are
minute
live.
already.
We are live. 3 minutes in advance because now what we are trying to do. Okay, Dato is in. Let me bring Dato in, and I think Manfred is in.
Hi,
Ah.
Dato.
All right. Okay.
Finally.
It's a bit of a hiccups today, lah. By the way, guys,
Hear
we are
you guys.
already
I'm
live.
not sure if you can hear me.
Yes,
I can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear.
I can't hear you guys.
You
Huh?
can't hear us.
You can't hear us.
Can you?
Okay.
You can
Okay.
hear me, so that's a good thing.
We
fix
can
one
hear
thing.
you. We can hear you. Now fix one thing at a time. But we are already live, by the way.
Under mute.
Hey, Manfred.
There's
Hi.
I can hear your voice soon.
audio input microphone and audio output speaker. Can you check that
So
configuration?
yeah, I can't hear any of you guys
You can?
at all.
Goodness.
Not even
You can?
not Andrew.
Okay,
Not
never mind. We can just show the questions. Then Dato will actually go through the whole thing and we will just
Right. I
listen.
don't think that's
Gonna
right.
work. Dato,
I
can
don't-
you see at the bottom?
mic
You
check.
see the word
1,
mute.
2. 1, 2.
Okay.
Can you see the word mute? How do we
Wait.
communicate? Okay, great.
Yeah, let's go into the private chat. Let's go into the private chat. Hang on, guys, give us a second while
Yes.
we are trying to fix a little bit over here.
We're trying to fix some technical stuff.
Yeah, for some reason today,
Because
Melon
our
app
guest
really
is too important already. The Melon app actually
heavyweight guest over here. That's
Yeah.
why. Okay, can we check that? Okay, let me see if I can do anything on. Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
We can
Yes.
hear you. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Maybe not.
I can't hear you guys.
Okay.
That's another issue we're gonna have.
Let's wait. I think. Okay.
Yeah, but you can
Andrew.
hear me, but I can't hear you. So
Okay. Are we able to do something like
what's
the
my-
mute button? I don't think he's muted. Wait.
No, it's you select
I didn't
under
change
the
any
mute.
settings.
You can select for
Let's-
audio input.
or the other
Just
way
go
around
to
is
guys.
maybe the Dato can actually on the phone
But cannot. They'll be delayed.
delay. No, as in
It'll be delayed.
phone to hear what we are talking about. So
But
the
there'll be a
phone
bit.
is-
Hang on. Okay. How about Andrew? Can we go live with StreamYard or something like that?
I will log out and log in again.
Okay,
Yes,
let's
I
try.
think that would.
Let's see if that works.
Yeah, let's try.
Yep. So, okay. Right, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, we are live anyway. Obviously, we are live slightly earlier because let me share with you what happened. Okay, we went in just now, and then because of my connection issue, we went out. And the moment we come back, right, the whole Melon app thing messed up. Okay, so I guess it's really like a very interesting day where Andrew just now had some technical issue when he was going live just now.
On StreamYard, not
On
on Melon
StreamYard.
app.
Okay,
You
now
know.
on Melon app also got issue. Now, okay, we know who to blame. Blame Facebook. All right, guys, this is really the, what do we call, the Three Marketeers show, and this is episode 83.
83.
Okay, let me bring Dato back.
Okay, I still can't hear you guys, so I'm not sure is it my side or your side.
You
Okay,
can't hear us.
we
So I'm going to
all
write on iPad.
Okay, how about that? Can you unplug and plug back? Can we chat him over here? Okay. Can
When
you?
we came in just now, it was okay, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to talk to Dato over here to see whether he can use earphone or not.
Okay. We're using the private chat. So audience, just bear with us for a while.
Just bear with us for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like Chiwai now say something about the Stream Deck thing, lor. Hey, this is nothing to do with Stream Deck, my friend. Nothing to do with Stream Deck. Hey, Dato, I'm not sure what you can. I mean, can you read the private chat? Not sure whether he can read my lip or not. Okay, let's see. Okay. Must be okay. Hang on. Something is share stream. Okay. Hang on.
While Jason is trying to fix the thing, I just roughly go through some of the comments we have.
Okay,
you
you
see
go
or not?
through the.
Oh, cannot see. It's the other reverse.
It's the other way around. It's reverse.
Wait,
The wordings
wait.
is reverse.
Would you be able to call him, Andrew?
Can I call him?
Yeah, you check with him if he can use the earphone or not.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, guys, give us a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
This is
Maybe
episode 83.
83. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe I go
interesting
through
event.
the comments. Chiwa was saying that we can hear the guests. Bob
Correct.
actually called us Jam, Jason and Drew Manfred. And
Okay.
Chiwa was saying Dato is loud and clear. Surprising Chiwa can hear me.
Actually,
Yeah,
can. Just now we also can hear.
Dato
We can
cannot
hear
hear.
him.
Dato
We can
cannot
hear him. You know, just Dato cannot hear us.
maybe Dato's side the output had some problems. Bob was actually mentioning that he also had the same issue.
Yeah, GY said he purposely want to satay me lah. I know, man. You and your pattern. Not about string deck, okay? 1,000% not about that. Okay, wait,
GY was saying.
Can you guys hear Dato?
Yeah.
We can't.
You can't hear him.
No, actually, if you look at it, right, he has a 0 bar. His internet connection is lost.
Yeah.
I thought there could be an issue with your internet connection.
Can you get him to restart? Restart the machine. Probably the machine side. Okay. Okay. This. okay. Now Andrew is fixing that, guys.
Okay. Maybe we do WoW for now.
Oh yeah, you do your WoW. What's the WoW today? So guys, we switch the flow a little bit lah. We start with the website of the week before we interview the.
So today's WoW is actually very.
Jason, can you get Jason Dato in?
I am not okay. Wait,
you do first.
Wait. I'm seeing Manfred coming, and I'm not seeing Dato. Not yet. I'm not seeing Dato. Check with him whether he's on the right thing or not.
Yeah, this is the website of the week.
Okay, so this is Manfred.
Gorilla Gorilla Mail because okay, I admit that last time before Amazon Kindle officially come to Singapore, or sometimes you want to sign up certain things, you don't want to review your email address because you don't receive.
Okay,
so
sorry, Manfred. Dato is back. Can you hear us, Dato?
Okay.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Excellent. Okay, so basically, you can try out. It's a disposable temporary email address. Jason will pass the link.
Okay. Now, what Manfred just did, Manfred jumped the queue a little bit. He was doing the website of the week, which is something that we do every week lah. Okay, so guys, we finally have Dato with us now. Okay, Dato James Fu, the business MacGyver. Welcome to the show. Welcome.
My favorite character in TV.
Right. So basically, tonight is really you guys are in for a treat because we are supposed to learn a lot about growing and scaling businesses from Dato. This is the legend who have done it multiple times. So if you guys have any questions regarding building and scaling businesses, probably you guys can start popping them into the chat, and we will bring them up for discussion as and when we see anything that fit, right? But because Dato is Andrew's guest tonight, okay? So I'll let Andrew do the honor and introduce Dato to us, please. Andrew.
Sure. I got to know Dato through Maverick, and I think my first exposure to his thinking or business thinking was through a new profits. I think that was 2 years ago when you had that event in Bangsa, and I was like blown away because the way he looked at business, I guess it just jived me. It's very down to earth and it's very, very practical kind of business. It's not like woo-woo, Fortune 500 kind of business ideas which you really can't use. And that's how I started following him, and that's how over time and through Maverick and all those things. And I think even during the beginning of the year, you did a business alignment series session. And those were very useful, and I actually use some of them basically to actually look at the way I do my small little business solopreneur. But it's on the right track. So which is why I felt it was good time after episode 83 to actually invite you on and to share, because I'm sure all of us, some of them are running agencies, some of them are doing solopreneur work. But I think it is useful to hear your insights into doing business, especially the fact that you actually ran more than 80 plus business and your IPO 4. I'm struggling to just do one business, not even IPO yet. So
Not even close.
yeah.
We're not even close, though. It's
Yes,
seriously so
forget about
far away.
six figures or 7 figures. I'm lucky
Yeah,
to get
man.
4. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor for the Three Marketers Show to have Dato James Fu. And
Dato James, please say hi to the audience.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. I used to say that, I tell Maverick and my team that I'm actually a dinosaur when it comes to tech. Probably I'm the one that probably, jinx it up for you guys. You guys are the three marketeers, right? So
Yeah.
really thank you, Jason. Thank you, Manfred. And of course, thank you, Andrew, for giving me an opportunity to share.
It's an
I'm here
honor.
to share my thoughts and hope to learn from you guys as well.
Well, I guess
Absolutely.
really we are here to be schooled tonight, Dato. But really, I think Andrew set a few questions up, but I guess we are very interested to find out. If you don't mind, we probably will pop with this question first. How did you earn the nickname Business MacGyver and why? Did I pronounce it correctly, by the way? Just to make sure.
MacGyver, yes.
MacGyver, right? Okay,
If
okay.
you can pronounce the name, you kind of know the age of the person already, okay?
All
So that kind of give away my
High
age.
five, high five.
Okay, so yeah, so I think Andrew and I will be high-fiving because you know the movie probably. So long and short of it is we were actually given the opportunity. If you know this Putrajaya Convention Center, PICC, Putrajaya International Convention Center.
Right.
So it was actually a project that Mahathir wanted to build in under 2 years. Okay.
Oh, wow.
We actually found a technology that could do it in under 1 year.
Holy.
Right.
Okay.
And so we were considered in Malaysia's first building technology to actually build a building with a cone shape, like an ice cream cone, like that. Right. And with that so-called little success that we had under our belt, the international community start reaching out and say, hey, can you help us build a mass housing? Can your technology do this for our community? And then we actually went to a place called Africa, Nigeria specifically, and they wanted to build a mini Putrajaya, right? When they came, they loved, they visited. And during the conversations with the prime ministers and the board, with the whole community, and the president just said, you are like a MacGyver. You know who's MacGyver? And everyone laughed. And for a moment there, I was like, who is this guy? Now, like trying to catch up, and then like later I watched the movie, I caught the series, like, oh, this is the guy, right? And when I went to Africa, there was a name that stuck. Okay, coming back, it was actually a prank. Friends used to call me a MacGyver, in a sense of calling me old. Not because I could solve problems faster than most people, not because at a very young age I was bullied, not because when I was very young age, I was actually afraid of actually facing real problems. My mother gave birth to me with something called PNS. I'm not sure if you know what PNS is, postnatal syndrome. So it's similar to today, we call it PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So at that time, my mother gave birth to me, they didn't know she had PNS, right? And just going through a tough time, trying to get used to this boy she gave birth to. I blame myself for many years.
Wow.
Right? I blame myself that I actually caused my mother to be ill, right? But there's no medicine, there's no cure. They didn't know what's going on, right? So if doctor cannot find out what's going on, they don't know what to prescribe or what to give, right? And many years passed. All I knew is if I could solve one problem, which was at that time solving my mother's PNS problem. Later years, she actually had breast cancer. She did a double mastectomy, and later it spread to the spine. And doctor, when I was doing my my first year in PhD, not because I was smart, but because every time I graduated, the economy plummeted. Nothing else to do, okay? So 1997 crash. I did my MBA, 2001 market crash, and you know what? So I was doing the first year of my we call it this PhD, and my dad called and said like, you know what, you got to come home.
Right.
I go like, the father never calls, and when he does calls, it's like it's very regular. You know, when a man calls your son, I think that's
You know what to do, lah.
so. You know what? I came home. I came home. I didn't know what was going on, and he just drove me to the hospital,
Right.
and he said, you know, when a doctor says get your affairs in order, please bring your mother home. She had 3 months to live. 3 months to live, right? And my dad, I saw him, a middle class, doesn't have a lot of money. Literally, one leg was like can go to bankruptcy. One leg can go to prison, literally, because he was paying the medical bills. And I didn't know how to become rich. Okay, I had no idea how to become rich, but I know I never want to be poor. So I was trying to solve everyone's problem, hoping I don't have to face it, right? And come the time where people just said, you know what? When they gave me a problem, somehow, somewhere, it just somehow lands easier for me. Is it practice? Is it of fear? Is it I probably did more repetition than other people? I don't know. Perhaps I read more books than other people. I do not really know that real answer. But the title came to me, MacGyver, was truth be told, was almost a prank. Friends came back, hey, MacGyver, calling me old. And then it kind of stuck with me. And some friends just said, like, you know what? Hey, put it on your profile, you know, it could attract the right customers, you know, hopefully with your age group. And that's how the long and short of it.
Right, right.
All right.
But I think it's
so
that
much for the sharing.
problem solving. I mean, you know, MacGyver
Yeah.
is known for being unconventional when it comes to problem solving, but it gets things done. You know, yeah.
I mean, recently I actually now I'm reading back one of a book by Robert Kiyosaki, which is like the Financial IQ, one of the series of the Rich Dad Poor Dad. You know, one thing that he really emphasized heavily, which is in order to be out of whatever situation, to be, you know, rich and all that, you gotta be a problem solver. You gotta be solving your own problem, of course, other people's problem, but he was referring to the financial problem. But I think that would be one of the very important trait for entrepreneurs, as in like we must be there to solve problems. I think that I totally agree with Dato. But what do you think? I mean, sorry, I'm not going through the flow, right? But okay, now, when it comes to the business out there, when it comes to entrepreneurs out there, can you share with us your observation as in like when it comes to business owners and entrepreneurs nowadays, what are we really lacking in terms of, you know, among us as what are the traits that is really missing compared to those who are successful? I think if you observe, probably can give us some tips about how to be successful.
It's probably the answer you already know. It's an answer that's it's right in your face. I think the biggest problem right now most entrepreneurs face is that they do not know what to fix first. Entrepreneurs are like firemen with fire extinguisher, and anything that moves, they think it's a fire. They try to save the fire. You know, they're almost like a caveman. You know, anything that moves is either fearful or they go towards it, right?
Yep.
So the big issue right now is they do not know what to fix. So therefore, they fix every single thing. And in life, we know that, you know, there's only so much you can do with limited hours. I mean, whether is it from a beggar to a billionaire, we all have the same amount of time.
Right.
Right. So what is the right next thing you need to fix in your business right now? No, they only fix what is right in front of them.
Very true.
And because they can see it. And guess what? The more you try to fix what's in front of you, the more you dig yourself into the grave. For example, they said, oh, business is bad. So logical solution would be do more sales. And I said, if you continue doing sales, you are one-way ticket to Timbuktu. Why?
You're just adding more problems to your, layering more problems.
Because you have not fixed the real issue. You may need more sales, but what is your profit? How about the profit margins? People don't even think about it. Just do more sales. More sales. Let's go for more selling courses. Go read up on it. More seminars on it. More coaching on it. And it's all about sales, left and right. Yes, sales important, but at what level sales come in is also critical. It's not just sales. Right now, if I'm trying to sell to the wrong target market, right? It's as simple as what we talk about in the New Product Framework that probably Andrew heard a bit about. I want to go fishing, right?
The pond, yes.
Right, and I want to go fishing. And if I want to fish for sharks, I mean, please don't shoot for sharks, okay? Because ever since I become a scuba diver, I said, like, you know what, no more fishing for sharks. But when I was young and naive, I went shark fishing.
Right.
So guess what? If I actually went shark fishing in Malaysia's Lake Titiwangsa, no way I would ever catch anything close to a shark. No way.
Very true.
Right? If there is, it'd be quite scary. Okay. So now assuming I'm in the right place, the right pond, the right ocean, the right lake, and there is sharks, am I serving the right bait? So when they were doing shark fishing at the time, you need to sprinkle blood all around your little ship,
Yes.
and then to see whether the shark can come. Because if the shark don't come, you don't want to throw a bait and waste it. So right
Good
now,
point.
entrepreneurs are not just trying to do what's next. They are trying to do everything. You cannot, I mean, if you're a bodybuilder, right, you cannot have your arms, stomach, your legs, and your butt, every part of your body in tip-top condition. I mean, I've been trying for years. Like, if you have the tip, please tell me, guys. Okay, I work on my chest, then my stomach goes big, you know. I used to have a V shape because I was doing competition in challenging swimming. I was doing table tennis, and I
Wow.
used to have a V shape. Now it's A shape. With the pandemic, it's a bit of a head shape, but still, we need to give time to rest, right? So right now, I think the biggest issue right now is entrepreneurs are not fixing the right problem. They're fixing every single thing, or they're fixing anything that is in front of them. And I think that is number one of the biggest problem I feel when I talk to them. I just realized that, oh, this is my issue, so I'm doing this. And it's almost like a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah. Reactionary. I was trying to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, what's the response that you should be looking for? So I hope that helps your listeners and help you actually.
Definitely, man. Seriously, I think that proves I know how to ask question. I really love the question. I love the answer. Really, it's about the fishing the shark. It's about fixing the right problem. Because recently, I've been listening to some podcasters talking about business building. In fact, one thing that I learned is a lot of times, right, in order to grow the business or kind of like grow the business, it's not about growing the revenue. It's about finding the right business model that can actually keep the business going for long term. So I think that kind of resonates with Dato's metaphor over here, which is like, if you want to fish a shark, you don't go to Titiwangsa, which is very scary. Okay, so I guess that gives us a little bit, I mean, because eventually, I guess a lot of businesses, because I do work with some businesses, and eventually, a lot of businesses are kind of like always looking at, oh, how do I get more leads? Because I do Facebook advertising, coaching people on Facebook advertising. A lot of people always focus on how to get more leads. Like when you try to get more leads, but you do not have a system to really like close the leads, eventually it's going to fall apart. They always say that the quality is bad, and we are not having closure. But then again, like what you say, a lot of people are actually looking at the problem in front of them, but not really having a kind of like a more macro or like a bird eye view on what really is the business problem right now. I think that really helpful. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Now, I want
Cool.
to stir it back to the question that we, like circle back to what the questions that Andrew arranged for us right now, which is I really love this because we would like to know and learn from you, Dato, the difference between growing a business and scaling a business. As in, like, I believe these are two different things, right?
It is. And I think right now, a lot of people cannot tell the difference.
Yeah, I mean,
They don't know the difference. I could be wrong, but let's do a little quick test for those listeners right now. What is your definition of scaling? Let's just plonk it up, just type it in. What is your definition when we say let's scale the business? What comes to mind? What are things you need to do? What will the systems be like? What are the processes be like? Let's hear something, and then going to the fact of right now, if you want to cook Indomie, right? You don't take a chicken rice recipe and try to I'm doing this style, because Indomie is very simple.
Yep.
I love Indomie. I've been abstaining from all this carb food. So that probably
I just read that prior to the show.
you said you want to cook something. This is probably a bad example, but I could be stereotyping, so correct me if I'm wrong, okay? When guys go shopping,
Yes.
I want to buy a sweat leather jacket that I want to come on the Three Marketers show. I want to look good, right? Because it's stressful. Normally interview is one-on-one, but this is bugger, this is gangbang, this is like 3 against 1. I want to look good. So I rush to the Gardens Mall, and then I see whatever shops looks good, and I buy and I come home.
Right.
Women, on the other hand, they say, need to look good for the Three Marketers show. And you know what? I got to buy this blue velvet dress. It seems a bit, right? Guess what? The entire day, they shop. They come back with every single thing except
The
the
blue velvet dress.
blue velvet seams dress. So I could be wrong, it's just based on my little experience with women. I don't have that many, but correct me I'm wrong, right? So it's a psychology. But yeah, I hope I bought some enough time for the listeners to quick share what was your definition of scaling. When we say scale, because the word scaling it's almost like a word, like a profanity right now. It's just so loosely used. I'm scaling my business. And I said, really? What are you doing to scale a business? And then when they explain, I go like, bro, you're not scaling. You're probably surviving. And they go, huh?
Okay.
Then another entrepreneur comes in and explain, I'm scaling my business right now. I'm growing it. And I said, yeah. You're probably not surviving. You're probably sustaining, but you're not scaling. They're like, what? So it took me some time literally to separate. Like when you are actually growing your business, these are the things you need to do. These are the things you need to look for. But when you're scaling, these are the things you need to do. These are the things you need to look for. Okay.
Right. No, I mean, we're not getting anything from the guests. I think they are probably they are afraid.
They're probably Googling right now, right? They're probably
Googling. Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll shoot for it. Okay. So when we say we are growing our business, okay, what is growing a business? Growing a business would be $1 million. So wait, let me set some context first. What do I call a business that is okay? Not successful, but okay. So like you're financially independent, not financially free. Okay. So what's financially independent? 2 years, $1 million.
2 years.
That's a benchmark. Okay. There's a global benchmark. In 2 years, $1 million. Now, if your business is not doing that, and you say you want to implement scaling strategies, you're probably trying to throw breadcrumbs and fish for sharks.
We're talking about revenue, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So growing is this. Okay. Growing is actually like a plus. It's incremental. It's a single-digit growth year on year, perhaps double-digit growth year on year. Scaling, on the other hand, is exponential, triple-digit growth. So how are you growing year on year? Are you measuring that? What are your master metrics in your business that you are keeping an eye on quarterly, even monthly? If you don't know whether you're growing your leads, you're not growing your sales, you're not growing your conversions, you're not growing your upsells, can you tell whether you are scaling? So that's the first bit. The second bit, people who are growing the business are more like artists. You know what? They want to get their hands dirty. They are the business. The question is, when was the last time you went for a 6-week holiday? 6 weeks holiday, you turn off your device, all devices, okay, including your mobile. No one can reach you, okay? Your team cannot reach you for 6 weeks. And then when you come back, your business is doing better without you.
Wow.
That's almost like a wish or a hope, right? Because 6 days or 6 hours, if you leave, I'm telling you, if you're in the growing stage, you cannot leave the business. You are the business. You're close to a high-paying job that you just got yourself stuck into. Right? So you're an artist, I call it. In other words, you are Superman. Okay? So a Superman cannot be, or superhero cannot be in the North Pole and South Pole at the same time. Okay? Scaling is like you have a Marvel team or like a DC team. So you have a superhero team. You have actually a group of people working for a similar cause. That's the second thing. Okay? The third thing, when you are growing, you are in a survival stage. What is called surviving? Surviving is, are you paying all your bills? We all have monthly bills, right? Whether it's rental, whether it's your handphone, your car, all your partners, are you paying yourselves and comfortable? I mean, you're all comfortable right now. Because, come on, we all started the business for three things, right? Number one is fortune. I don't think we want to be fame, But you definitely want fun. But last but not least, you want freedom. But that's
Fortune, fun, and freedom. Very true.
okay. But most entrepreneurs are frustrated. I probably can't say on Tree Marketing Show, they are probably effed,
Can.
right?
You are free to
And-
do whatever.
right? And they are not just, and they are fearful right now with the pandemic. And if you using strategies in the pandemic that work today, you are in for a big surprise. It's not going to work. I assure you, it's not going to work. If the strategies you plan for are in the pandemic times work, and now using, oh, since it worked, and I'm going to do it the same thing now, rinse and repeat. I'm telling you,
Very true.
Very
you're gonna
true.
shit in your pants. Okay, literally.
Very true.
So
Very true.
that's survive. Survive means you must take care of all your basic human needs. Can you pay all your bills right now? Can you even take care of yourself? That's that. But when you're scaling, you're not looking at that anymore. You're looking at sustainability. You're measuring your leads. Are they coming in consistently? Fortune 500 companies, 40%, 40% of Fortune 500 companies have repeat business. Repeat business. So they have part of the portion of their business is stable. Apple, year in, year out, whether it's from, I don't know, I don't follow Apple, but 13 or 14 or 15 right now, every year, the same group of people will buy their phone. Occasionally, it will spill over, right? Because of envy, because of FOMO, because you got 3, I got 4, then I got 5, I don't know, all the cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
So ask yourself, are you scaling or are you growing? The next one, when you are growing a business, you are sprinting. You're pumping up you are what we had a chat with Andrew, right, doing the before the backs, and he was saying
Yes.
like, I was hustling. Yeah,
I've
that's a
done
good word,
something.
right? But
Yes.
in a way, yes, we won't go into details right now, but if you're growing a business, you're probably hustling. You're working your butt off,
Yeah.
right? 24/7, almost like you can swim, but you're tired and the water level is just like, you're just coming up, and then you're doing gown again, and you're just doing that. But when you're scaling, you know, you're confident that you are in a marathon. Now, I was trying to lose weight, probably my quarter life crisis, and I did more than 21 km marathon runs
Oh,
in
wow.
under 1 year. Okay, so I went for every single thing from children.
Whoa.
Adults. I went crazy. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna keep fit, because our resolution every year is 3 things, right?
Yeah.
Lose weight, make more money, travel. Well, COVID came before that, I couldn't do that. So I did it. And guess what? I was so confident. My friend said, hey, bro, let's do a 42 km. You've never done it before, right? And I go like, Cheh, I done so many 21 km. What is 42 km? No problem.
That's up, huh?
Sup, water, right? Please do not do this to yourself. You've never seen pain and torture because I am not prepared for that. No matter how many 21 km you do,
Yep.
if you never train your body or your mind for 42, you will not have what it takes.
Right.
And my 42 km, I did it twice. Never again.
No, okay.
Never again. Literally never again. No matter how much people convince me, all my friends, oh bro, yeah, you got this. I said, no. Enough. I went crazy. I went for 3 Vipers.
Wow.
Now every part of me is probably like an older man already, okay? So anyway, so sprint versus marathon, okay? When you're growing, you're problem solving.
Firefighting.
Firefighting, you just pump, right? So you're like taking a machine gun and then you just whack. You hopefully pray and hope the strategy, which never works, that this will give you a big break, your big corporate client, your big deal.
Right.
But when you're scaling, you are process polishing. You're fine-tuning your processes. Why the person did upsell? Or why didn't I upsell the person? Am I focusing on not just closing customer? After I close the customer, am I giving them not just massive value, but transformational value that they would then talk to their friends? Yes or no? When you're scaling, you can do that. But growing, want to buy, don't want to buy. You want to buy, don't want to buy. So you're almost like a peddler. And then you cannot be in that stage for too long because you're burnout.
That's very true.
So to simplify or give a different metaphor is, growing is like the soldier in the front lines, chong and all those things, whereas scaling is the general at the back, or so-called a big general, looking at the entire battlefield and deciding what sort of resources to deploy and not to deploy, and the strategy behind it. Is that true? Is that similar? Different person.
Dangerous analogy. Why? Because number one, when you say soldiers, chonga, the image that comes to mind is there's a very fine line between bravery and stupidity.
Okay.
Right? You're chonga and you don't die. You win the
You're
war,
brave lah.
you get a purple heart or a star or something, right?
Right.
But you chonga and the first bullet poke your head and you go. So that's why I said that the example doesn't really.
It's not right example. Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
because when you are scaling, you are still in charge, but now you are in charge of different things.
Can I on the other hand, if I want to kind of like fit it into my situation here, is like growing a business is like you're trying different strategies to see which one is working. In a way, you are deploying different way of doing business in a way, and then kind of like find a stable kind of like a framework, okay, to keep the business growing at a rate that is reasonable, but it's not really like exponential. But when you are going into the scaling, it's really about like, then you are trying to see if you are able to bring more value for the audience, and actually extract more value from them at the same time, maintaining a relationship with them to grow your business in the long way, where, you're not, how do I put this? I'm not sure whether I'm making sense. It's like when you're scaling a business, you are fine-tuning the way you do whatever that is already working.
Okay, good, but not great. We probably have a long debate on this.
Yeah.
Probably, yes.
But when you say growing, we want to keep it simple. The fact that you are educating yourself. That we go to kindergarten, we go to primary, secondary, college. Some go to university, and some go crazy. The masters and PhD.
Right.
That's like 20 years of our life. Business. Comment for you out there. How many years do you study, read, educate yourself, surround yourself with experts? How many years? Is it 5 years? Is it 7 years? Is it 10 years? Yes or no? Even a pilot spends how many 60 hours of just retraining every single year? Entrepreneurs, they just run.
Very true.
So
They don't learn, they just run. Like,
they just run, right?
it's just
So
like the
entrepreneurs
soldier,
are
like, habis.
I like to think that they're more like a SWAT team. So just run quite charm lah. Most of them are they don't really survive lah. Okay. So
But
growing.
we have some comment. Let me bring them up. Like Law is asking. Law is one of our guests. One time he runs a business that actually supplies coffee to the cafes, and at the same time he has his own so-called a consumer brand, which is a very interesting business over there. And Law is helping us where he's sharing his growing business is like having a specific number of growth to reach. And then he actually commented earlier about scaling, which is he was asking, can we say scaling is only able to happen when a company have a comfortable additional fund to develop or expand for new market? Like, for example, a complete new market. These are the two comments that I get from Lo. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Lo. But
Right,
guys,
okay.
if you are out there, right, any questions for Dato? Like you said, if you want to get him to consult and answer these questions, then you probably have to pay I don't know how many thousand per hour kind of stuff, right? But then again, now, because of Andrew, and thanks to Dato for willing to share with us, come on, man, your questions, please don't hesitate. But Dato, over to you. What would you think? What would you comment on Lo's statement over here? Let me change the layout a little bit.
So there are actually two businesses, okay, that I've probably yet to venture into. Okay, so if I have the experience, I'll tell you. If I've not, I'll tell you as well. Okay, F&B, zero experience. So I catch no balls, literally. I do not get the business model. I don't see it. I feel like that's the business that if I ever at my end of my time, I want a space and time, I'll probably have my little space to just chill. But I never got the business because you cannot take a break in the beginning for 3 to 5 years. It almost, whether is it from the Nando's founder, whether is it this Manhattan Fish Market, whether is it like George, right? George is like in Malaysia, he's like the king of franchises, right? And has more than 1,000 outlets all throughout Malaysia, right?
Wow.
And had opportunity to have a conversation, to just bounce some ideas with sounding board, and he said it's a tough business. The only little experience I have in F&B was when I told you just now that my mom gave it to me and she had PNS, right? So my dad had to work, and he sent me off to stay with his sister, right? And elder sister, and the elder sister every day runs a wonton mee shop. And it was, won't say abuse of cheap labor. I was the wonton mee boy, not the pao the wonton. That's not nice. So I was the one pao the wonton, right? Pao. At about I think 8 years old, and that I was the only experience I got. And what I learned through that probably 2.5 years that I was staying with my aunt was the fact that I kind of sense who would buy or order from me from the stall, and whether this is a picky person or this is a very chin-chai person, and this one will like keep a change. So I think afterwards studying human physiology, I probably got a little bit of those. But other than that, F&B business, when you ask me, I'll tend to say like, you know what, I have no experience.
Right.
But I can
Understand.
say in business, it's more or less, especially when it comes to a service-based business, which Malaysia is like close to, I think we have more than 1.1 million SMEs, 85% are in the service base, right? And all I know is
that many.
Yeah, that many.
Wow.
And yeah, because I had a meeting today in Maida, and I did a new update of the information we had.
I see.
And a lot of entrepreneurs right now just jump into the F&B space, thinking it's a cash-rich business. At the end of the day, it's all cash. So this is an amazing business.
Right.
But guess what? I think close to 25,000 every year, just open, close, open, close. The number still maintains the same year in, year out.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah, so people think that that's the best business with. Nothing wrong with that. You know, if you have a passion in it, yes. But it's very difficult to scale F&B business. Right?
It's hands-on. It's very hands-on.
It's very hands-on. Just take a good friend, Renyi, right, from Burger Lab. He's growing fine, he's doing well, but to scale the business like McDonald's,
Oh. Yep.
not easy, right? Five Guys came to town, you know, no comment, okay, whether it's good or bad, but I still go with Burger Lab personally. That's my preference, right? But how come Five Guys can get that viral spread? Can they actually scale? Potentially. What's really their secret? So F&B is not just about systems, but it's also the target market they want to fit. The hype. How do you drive that hype for F&B? So if you are doing an F&B right now, really consider, are you the artist? And it is fine. Continue to grow your business. It's fine. Right? But you are the business. You are the Gordon Ramsay of sorts, right? Or you're Jamie Oliver. And you know what? If you don't cook anymore, people are not going to come.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Very true. Thanks for the sharing, Dato. I mean, thanks, Law, for the question. I think that I just want to quickly circle back to the questions that we have. I think this question is really good, because a lot of us are probably kind of like trying to sorry, it's the system over here. I'm trying to pull this question up. Okay, there you go.
There you go. Okay.
I'm so worried that things will happen again now. When one is starting out in business, I mean, this is really a question that I kind of like. It was actually put up by Andrew. What are the top 3 things one should focus on and nothing else? I mean,
it's a hard one, actually. Assuming everything was possible, okay?
Everything, yes.
Yes.
And you're very resilient, you're very resourceful, and you're willing to put in the hard work, okay?
Right.
So they said that the mother of all learning is repetition.
Okay.
What is the father of all learning?
Wait, I heard this before.
No, I never.
We all know the mother of all learning. That means like you want to learn something,
Yeah.
that big thing is
Failure. Was it
No.
failure?
the father of all learning is retention.
Oh, crap. Okay.
Retention. Okay.
You repeat,
okay.
you repeat everything, but you
Uh.
cannot keep it in. Guess what?
Okay.
LPPL lah, you just make
True,
the same
true.
mistake again. And a lot of entrepreneurs are doing that. They just find different angles and make the same mistake, thinking they're solving a different problem. Actually, it's the same problem. Okay, so if I must sum it to 3, if you guys are okay, I have actually a checklist. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
and this is a checklist that I spent many years on. I've tried it with startups. I tried it with companies who are growing, scaling, and they do this checklist every year with me. Okay, and I would like to give it to all your listeners. Right?
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Happy to. And it breaks down into 12 different areas that you must look into, from we call the dragon level, eagle level, tiger level, and then the ant level. Okay, I go from really high, 100,000 feet, 10,000 feet, 1,000 feet, and then let's get the job done. I won't go into details about how we get it done, but right now, every business needs to have what we call a product market fit. Every company is talking about it. I think right now, if you're not stabilizing your business, it's because you don't have a product market fit. And what is product market fit? That means whatever you're selling, what the market wants, right? So 3 main things you want to look at, I think, right now, because it's honestly, Apple took away 25 years, if you see the chart, 25 years before they actually grew exponentially. Starbucks, all the big brands. But now, with all, I don't know, anyone can be famous kind of thing, any business can be down to as fast as 5 years. So things are moving at lightning speed. So if you don't have the step-by-steps, you don't have the checklist, what to look out for, you don't have the metrics, you are just burning through money. And that's why we have brands like WeWork that came up very famous. Now it's a movie of how they went.
Oh, is it on already?
Is it up already? I
The
heard it. The
series,
WeWork
the
is coming in.
series. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big movie, right? So I think right now, if you want to say, like, if you're starting out and you like really like, and I think that's the best place to be right now, is the first thing is I call purpose. What's the purpose of you doing this business? Come on, let's be honest. If you are not earning in your business what you can earn in a job, bro, miss, sis, uncle, auntie, whatever it is, no shame, get a job. Why are you struggling? Why are you fighting it? Because you get paid outside much better, right? And a lot of people are getting a highly paid job that they hate, which is their business. Okay, so, so the first one is why are you doing this? Okay, and when I say why are you doing this, is what is the impact that your business will have when people transact with you? What's the impact will it have on them? That's more powerful right now than anything else, because anyone can sell anything.
True.
Right? Every life cycle is almost like a wave. They go in and go out. Okay, so I think the first one is the purpose. Does your business have some sort of impact? How will it impact? Like doing the 3 Marketers show, it's not easy. I assure you, I did my fair share of probably not 83. I think I did probably less than a dozen. And I was like sweating, wondering how Andrew and you guys do it. Okay, this is hard work. Okay, you guys make it look seamlessly easy. So I really like, hats off, keep it up. A lot of people need to have this information. So I thank you for giving me the opportunity. So the one is purpose.
Okay.
Next one is positioning. People just jump into the business. I want to do this. I want to save lives. And I said this once to my dad. I said, why are you doing business? I want to help the people in Africa. And then my dad shit ahead. Your own backyard, the own kampong people are dying and struggling. You want to save the hungry people in Africa. You study too much with it, is it? You cannot help yourself. How can you help the people around you that matter. Because yourself, your team, you want to help your family, right? If you cannot help yourself, your team, how can you help your family?
Very true.
How can you help your business? So you want to help someone so far away in Africa, he asked me. Then I think, yeah, probably should aim for the moon. Didn't get anything, right? So the positioning of it is right now, your business. Are you asking yourself a very critical question? Is the business you are doing or going to do in demand or up and coming? Because I don't care how smart you are, how rich you are, how powerful, how well connected. Regardless of all these, if you are actually doing business that is not up and coming, not in demand, or not attractive, you're in for a surprise. And that is a sad surprise. It could be a sunset business, right? If I'm selling a typewriter right now to you guys who are listening, you're like, what is wrong with this dude? MacGyver my ass, right? Who's gonna buy? No one's gonna buy. Maybe some antique collectors, but guess what? I'm not gonna pay the bills.
Yeah.
Okay, so is the business you're doing in demand or up and coming? There are a lot of other parts to it. So every section I have about close to a dozen questions, but
Wow.
the checklist I'm gonna give you is 4 key questions for every single touch point that you need to look at. And if you look at this, I assure you, 9 out of 10 who came back to me, they're like, shit, why I didn't look at it earlier? How come I didn't get to know about this earlier? Okay. And then the third one is the process. I break it down into, when you talk about business, we need to break down 4 categories. Okay. It's in the designing the business. Are you designing the business? How often do you talk about designing your business?
I think that's something that a lot of people never thought about. As in, I design the business, as in, you should turn the business. I mean, the business. I mean, this is what I was thinking, because before that, I was like you, Dato. I mean, sorry for interrupt.
No, don't be.
At one point, right, I was thinking, in order to run a business, I need to, really like endure the process and whatever shit that come my way, right? But now I'm just thinking, in fact, all of us can design a business to work for us. And to build a business that can actually make us, like what you think, like what you're saying, like just now, the 3 F, what was that? Not the fuck one, but the 3 happy F, those things.
Fun.
Fun. What?
Not
like
famous.
freedom.
Freedom.
And what? What was that?
Fortune. Come on, you guys.
Yes. Yeah, all these can coexist. And I think that's probably what's missing in a lot of businesses, which is they just run the business without knowing that they can actually design the business.
Right. So I'll give you a little percentage. Okay. So designing, 10% of your time should be designing your business, which I call the dragon view of things, right? And then when we talk about the eagle view, which is about talking about deciding, what should I do? Most people just do first, worry later. Don't worry lah. You know the Chinese saying, don't run, the bridge becomes straight, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
That is
yes.
And guess what? If you are not running in the direction you want to be, you always be lost.
True.
Okay? So once you design, then you need to decide. After you decide, then you must delegate. And most entrepreneurs do not even know the definition of delegate. They do abdicate. Difference between delegate and abdicate. They can't tell the difference.
Yes.
Most entrepreneurs are abdicating.
Yeah.
And the last part is actually to do the work, which I call the end. Right? Most of us must go from the left to the right, not the right to the left. And that's what I feel that it's missing. So that's the process. Okay, the process to actually study how do you generate deep, profound value for your customers. Because honestly, it is so competitive right now. Almost any business or service or experience you have in mind right now, someone else is already doing it.
Absolutely.
Better, cheaper than you. So why you?
Very true.
Honestly, why you? There are so many people inviting me to go and talk. And it's not because I'm very free, right? Because I look up to Andrew. I say like, hey, he seems like he's putting the hard work, right? And he's a friend of math. And then, you know what? Why are we not supporting people around us? Why are we supporting people who are far away? We never know. And this is one thing that I learned from my dad. When we were young age, he was very poor. His mother passed away when he was 8 years old, right? And his father was those Hainanese chef. He cooked for the army. And every time come home, most of the time drunk, will take out his belt. You know, that's the way how he
Express himself.
Express himself, right? So when his mother passed away, he actually what we call ran away from home.
Right.
My dad ran away from home. So fast forward, when he actually had me, he was like a general. When I saw him, I was like seeing a ghost. I was so afraid because he's very strict, very, very strict. But why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because are you following someone that actually knows what they're doing? And for many years, I did not listen to him. You got a master degree, PhD, you know? Your friend, who's your friend? You know, most of them are not that, drive a nice car, you know, and so on and so forth.
Right.
But I then took to realize in the long way that he was one of the wisest men I ever met. Literally had the opportunity to learn from. And every time he asked me a question, I was like, come on, I never thought about it that way. So the question I want to ask you right now, if you're doing a business, does it really have an impact? Are you doing this for fun? Is this a hobby business? What's a hobby business? A hobby business is a business that you do when you feel like it. That's one. Number two, hobby business is probably not paying you the way you want to be paid. That's a hobby business. You're not serious.
Shocks and diri lah.
Shocks and diri. You tell me I'm a business owner. Che, lawa, you know. Give the name card CEO, right? But we're not running the business. We are playing a fool.
Very true.
And that's why a lot of companies fail, right? 9 out of 10 companies fail within the first 5 years. So many statistics on it.
Yeah, very true. Wow, this is gem. Thank you so much, Dato, for this really like powerful sharing. Now we have a question from Katie, you know, among the audience that we have. Now, Katie obviously is an e-commerce seller, but I'm not sure whether we can actually help on this. But let's try, Dato. Like Katie is asking, what are the ways to scale in e-commerce business like Lazada and Shopee aside from paid ads?
Cool. Question I ask you right now is, have you passed the growing stage? Notice the first question people ask is, I want to scale a business.
Right.
First, you know the definition of growing and scaling, but have you done the groundwork to grow your business? Yes or no? So when people ask questions, good. But I always tell my children right now when they go to school, ask better questions. Specific questions that really can help you, because that was a very broad stroke question. How can I scale my company? And
It's
that's
like,
very little information that I got.
Right.
And I'll say, yes, go ahead. And then like, James went on the tree bucket and then he gave me the green light and go. And then 3 months down the road,
what the hell?
like the flower horn, you know, the big hit. These three marketers bring me Holland. Bring these jokers on there also Holland. So Holland, okay? It's the fact of the matter is, it's a deeper conversation. Right now, if you are doing e-commerce, I have many friends who are there who made it. Especially, I'll tell you one story of a relative who actually, in the pandemic, the father and mother lost their jobs, right? And this cousin of mine literally was only doing e-com,
Right.
selling sanitizer. He buy, sell, buy, sell. Okay? Like there's no much capital there, but when the order is confirmed, send the order there.
All right.
800,000.
Right time, right place.
7 months. That's why the market, the industry was not up and coming, was already in demand. So yes, but today, I ask, how many sanitizers do you sell? cricket sound, cricket. No, no more. There's just so many competition.
Yes.
So when you're e-commerce, okay, I would like to think e-commerce is almost like a trading business. In my experience, I could be wrong. I've not done e-commerce. What little experience I have, I probably read it more and advise some companies. But I feel e-commerce, you need to constantly upgrade your products. Number one. Number two, stop selling other people's product. Almost every big brand out there, whether is it from Mydin to Tesco to, I don't know, name any brand out there, they have their own brand.
Yep.
So
House
if you
brand.
really want to scale, provided the condition, if you have gone through the growing path, stabilize yourself, you have single digit or double digit growth month on month, week on week, right? You're no more the artist. You are now building your team. You're like you're not just Iron Man alone or Captain America. You have a team. You can pay yourself more. When you are scaling, your profits must be able to give you excess income. Scaling's little trick is, do you have excess income to pay for a better lifestyle? But you choose to do something else with it. Part of it, I want to invest in my business. Part of it, I want to do this. That is called scaling. Okay?
Yep.
And you know that business is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yep, very
Your
true.
role is to polish those little processes, so much so that your e-com business, you want to build your own brand. And that's, for me, my opinion, that if you want to build a profitable, sustainable e-com business, you better start thinking of, do you even have your own brand? Those are my
Very
thoughts.
true. Very true.
Makes sense.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've worked with businesses that has multiple six-figure revenue, probably kind of near to Dato's definition in terms of like a growing business, as in like you're ready to scale, which is like you probably can make about $1 million in a year or two, in terms of revenue. I mean, when it comes to scaling, what I learned from these business owners is actually, in fact, first thing first, I would totally agree with Dato's point, which is you gotta have your own brand. And the second thing is, I think when you're trying to scale your e-commerce business, product is definitely one thing. You got to constantly come out with product that people are looking for and stuff like that. But the other angle to look at this is you need to look at the processes on how you kind of like streamline the process of you running the e-commerce business, because there's too many moving parts. Like logistic. One of the angle that my client worked on is he worked really hard to reduce the cost of storing the business, as in like, he's trying to do something like, the moment the shipment come, he actually kind of fastly, just have to really
Turnaround time.
Turnaround time. So that's one thing that he worked on. And the other thing is actually he worked on the logistic and try to improve the margin. And of course, one thing that I always advocate, which is the branding. There are always different people selling the same thing that you're selling. So what makes people want to come and buy from you? I think that's something that I learned from my clients. I hope that makes sense. Dato, what do you think?
I think you make absolute sense. I want to add a little bit to that is that never compare yourself to a giant. No disrespect to you, okay? I hope, I pray one day you are prosperous beyond, all of you are prosperous beyond imagination. But if you want to give yourself undue pressure and compare yourself with Lazada and Shopee, are you comparing apple to apple?
Yep.
You will never have the firepower when it comes to paid ads with these guys. Never. So by asking a question like this, you are digging your hole. So ask a better question right now. What are the alternative strategies I can use to penetrate the market or get better brand awareness or market penetration? Then the brain will flip. Like, oh, probably I can try this. Probably I can do this. Probably I can experiment with it. So when you're growing a business, it's a lot of education, and the key word is experimenting.
Yeah.
When you're scaling, there's little to no experimenting, okay? But you'll be enlightening your team, enlightening your stakeholders, enlightening your customers, and that's where you want to be. But right now, almost 80-90% of businesses are in the growing stage, unfortunately, because they are merry-go-round, right?
Yeah, not fixing the right problem. That's how we started, at the very beginning. right? Law was actually resonating to Dato's statement where the own brand is very important because, yeah, I think Law can definitely relate. He's saying selling other products will have no control and will always be replaced by others easily. Now, let me tell you another horror story. Okay, one of my clients, he was actually selling a China brand for 5 years, building that presence from scratch in Malaysia. And finally, 5 years later, they reached 6-figure every month, right? And just one call, they said they want to take it back. That's it.
But it's not new, you know. Jason, this is totally not new. Right?
Yeah, so many.
Almost in every business, whether is it from e-com business to franchise business. I have friends who actually own like one whole entire state, and the whole Ipoh state. He
Right.
owns the franchise for the cigarettes, like all the Salem, I done here, I don't smoke.
Right.
but, you know,
CID, correct.
right. And he built the business from ground zero to like more than 100 vans, and in 40 years, they just
Wow.
wrote a letter
Yeah.
and say, hey, we want it back. And this is how much we're going to pay you for it. Pennies on a dollar.
Awesome.
So yeah, be mindful, okay?
Yep, very true. And then Law was saying, happened a lot of times in F&B. Wow, I mean, thanks for the information. I think, wow, awesome. Right, Ivan, we started a little bit late, right? So Dato, if you don't mind, can we actually go for one more question? I think this question is quite interesting.
Sure,
And I have to thank Andrew for that, right? Okay, if you were to start all over again today with nothing, what would you do differently and why?
Probably another long session or a one-day
Okay. Did I ask the wrong question or should I?
Take your time.
Take your time.
Okay, so this is something I share, and it's a very difficult question to answer, okay? Because there's so many moving parts.
Andrew, your fault.
No. It's a great question. Okay, it's a great question. But try to answer it in a way that when people take it, they don't
Misinterpret.
unscrew it or misunderstand it, and then it hurts their journey as an entrepreneur, their journey as a business owner, right?
Yeah, I
Because
get what you mean.
it's a very lonely process. Okay, it's literally a lonely process.
Absolutely.
Right? Whether you're making money or losing money is seriously a lonely process. Okay.
Yes.
I call this the 30-10 rule. Okay, 30-10 rule. And if I practice this in my earlier days, okay, I believe, hand on heart, I will be probably 10 times the person I am.
Wow.
Right? So how would I do it? So take a look at a calendar right now. As simple as this. This came from a very good friend, and he was sharing. He runs like probably 7 to 8 listed companies. He's vising on there, and he was telling me, James, look at your calendar. I was like, yeah. So what about it? If it's not filled for a minimum of 2 weeks, you're not running a business. I'm like, what? Yeah, that's number one. And then look at the interactions, those type of in-betweens, the people you're meeting. Are you filling it up? And I'm like, what do you mean? And it goes like this. We all got to eat. Every lunch and dinner, I know I cannot afford all the seminars, all the gurus, the coaching, the mentoring, whatever it is, consulting, I can't afford it, right? I make an appointment with someone I feel who is probably a minimum of 5 to 10 years ahead of me in a direction I would like to go or hope I can someday be. Right? Like Richard Branson has his Necker Island. I have a little resort in Bentong, right? And I'm trying to emulate that little thing. And like, okay, if he did it, you know what? Because success leaves clues.
Yes.
There's a trail, right? So look at a calendar and ask yourself, entire year, 365 days, 30% of the time, are you spending, investing, not money, but time with people who are 5 to 10 years older than you, either in age or in experience, or preferably in exposure? That's the first one. Okay? The next one. The next 30% of the time, are you spending it with people so blessed, right? I'm very supportive of companies who are at least not solopreneurs. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but people who are 3, right? So like you guys, Andrew, Jason, Manfred, I want to support companies like this, right? But I know that you guys, it just feels like it's so close yet so far, you know. And it's always the posts keep moving. Like, why? I'm almost there yet I'm not there, but I can see it. And then the highs are never the highs that you want to. So having a partner to be a sounding board, to be a sparring partner, look at your calendar. Are you spending time drinking? Nothing wrong with that, or gambling, or just 4 hours on your social media, learning TikTok tricks? Or are you brainstorming, masterminding with people who are like-minded, same level, peer-to-peer?
The peers.
Can be external, but pushing the limit of partners, sparring, challenging. Like the 3 marketeers, are you talking to other marketeers, playing ball, and say like, when this comes up, what happens? What do? Have that? Do you have a hackathon on that? That all the marketers come together and just hack on one solution? How many companies want to be part of that? So 30% of time in the year. The next 30% of time, which is totally neglected, is, are you training what I call baby eagles?
Okay.
Mentees, if you will, or coaches, if you will. Someone that's up and coming. Because guess what? When you are scaling the business, you need someone or few someones to run in your business. There's no one in the world will replace you. 2 or 3 people can do your job. Maybe 70% of your job, 80% of your job.
Right.
You need 2 or 3 at least, right? So are you nurturing them? Are you educating them? Are you telling the difference between scaling and growing? Are you teaching them what is leads, what is prospect, what is customer? Everybody is a customer. Wrong. If you think everybody is a customer, you have no customers. Right? If you think the only problem you do is do sales, and sales is a number game, you're wrong and wrong again. And anyone who tells you that do not know what they're doing. Sales is never a numbers game. If it's a numbers game, you do not know what you're doing. So you got 30, 30, 30, still have 10%. Okay, and I'll probably close with this. I'm launching a book on this. I've been working on it for many years, and Christmas time is my target. And I share this bit. Okay, the 10%. When was the last time you worked on yourself? Because success have 2 parts. Okay, internal success, external success. Internal success is, are you contented? When someone says, yes, you are great, you feel, yes, I'm great. Or someone, you're great, you go like, no, I'm not great. So the imposter syndrome, right? So everyone thinks you're great, but inside you say, no. Honestly, for many years, right, I felt was a failure. Everyone looked at me and said, wow, you start 80 companies. I said like, don't mention. Why? Because out of the 80 companies, 50 of them I screwed up. Mismanagement, embezzlement by partners, wrong company structure, wrong payout to staff, wrong product market fit, wrong timing. The checklist I talk about, 50 of them. And I thought like, wow, so proud. But now it's very shameful. But a lot of people tell me is, I'd rather learn your failures than your success. I'm like, oh, interesting.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I didn't see that way. That was not my perspective. I was shy to tell people, don't tell me you start so many companies. You're stupid. You're a bloody fool. My name is Fool, right? Without the L. I said, why? Because people are so smart, whole life do one business. That means they're clever. I do whole life, almost 50 years old, 80 companies. I stopped counting 80 because I'm malu.
That's a quite low term. They call it serial entrepreneur.
CEREAL. Okay? So the 10% is on you. So the internal success is, are you contented? Okay? Are you conscious? Are you capable? That if you are broke, you know what to do.
Right.
Okay? So internal success. External success is all the bling bling shiny stuff, fast cars, fast watch, whatever trophies and stuff like that. External.
Right.
So 10% of the time you need to do these 3 things. Okay, 3 things. And I call this the golden hours. So this I hope you write down. Okay. The golden hours come in a book, okay, in a series of books. I call it the golden hour. Okay. I didn't know there's such a thing. I start reading upon it, and then I found out, oh, there are other people practicing it. Okay. So how I do it is this. Now, every day for the past, I don't know, close to what, 7, 8 years, every morning from 6 to 7, I practice what I call the power hour. And in the power hour, I do 3 things. I make sure when I wake up, I drink a nice big mug of warm water. I sit on the edge of the bed, and I just am grateful that I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm alive, the people around me are still breathing, I'm happy. And I do what I call, the first thing is the PBA, my physical bank account to be filled. What is that physical bank account? I actually do a Tabata. So like 7 days, I rest 1 day. 2 days, I walk 10,000 steps. 2 days, I do strength training. And 2 days, I do a HIIT, Tabata, whatever, right? So physical bank account need to be full. The next one I do is my mental bank account. I read minimum 15 pages, a book, something that I need to grow myself, right? And that is the physical. The next one and last one is the emotional bank account. I meditate, I do breathing. Okay, so in my power hour, there's no devices at all, no distractions. That is my power hour. Okay. At the end of the day, when all my Muslim friends are buka puasa or doing their little prayers, I do something called the honest hour. I ask myself a list of 10 questions, right? Honestly, hand on heart, did I set out to do what I set myself to do today? What went well? What went wrong? What should I improve? Are the first 3 questions. So that is my honest hour. And every night, I try to sleep before 12. I used to sleep, I'm like a late owl, and I sleep really late. And then now I sleep 11 to 12, literally at my best. Okay, unless I got an urgent call from overseas. Otherwise, I'm on bed at 12. And from 11 to 12, what I do is, I call this the miracle hour. I take a journal and I write down my entire day, the good, the bad, the ugly, all my problems. And then I talk about things that I'm grateful for, I'm thankful for. And this is this little trick I want to tell you. Without fail, so far, almost every problem I write in my journal during my miracle hour, when I'm doing my power hours, I get downloads, I get answers, I get enlightenment, I get, when you take a shower, you get
inspiration. Yeah, the eureka moment.
Exactly. So I urge you to practice the golden hours, and that's my gift to all your listeners out there.
Oh my goodness.
Checklist.
Wow.
And that's all I got. I probably take a bit too much of your time. I would appreciate it. Back to you guys.
Whew. I've got notes. First time.
Jason,
You're muted.
Jason.
Sorry. I muted. You see, I got too indulged into this, serious, all this wisdom from Dato. I mean, awesome. Thank you so much for all the sharing. And really, I guess I enjoy the sharing from Dato too much, and I forgot to flash this up. So if you guys want to connect with Dato, this is the link. You just go to LinkedIn. In fact, just go to LinkedIn and look for Dato James Fu. That's it. There's only one Dato James Fu. So just connect with him and probably see what he shared from time to time. And of course, we look forward to the book. Before Christmas, we hold you accountable. Can't
You
wait
also
for that.
do roundtables for CEOs. Are you having the recent one was about 2 months ago, right?
Yeah. So every quarter, our plan is to do a CEO roundtable, high net worth, doing about 3 to 5 million minimum net gap. And then we actually have what we call a authority institute roundtable, right? And that's open. That's like from 1 to 3 million. And then right now we're thinking that there's just so many things going on, and guess what? Entrepreneurs don't have time. They don't have time, right? And we started one, I think, so end of the month, on the 29th, 30th, and the 1st of this month. If you like, reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm actually opening my resort. So if you like a bit of durians, you want to check out some, what I call the retreat. I call it the Authority Institute Retreat, like we call AIR, right? So AIR, Authority Institute Retreat. And we need 2 things in life, right? A and IA.
Yeah.
So I invite you to, join me on my retreat where it's only like a handful of entrepreneurs where I go really deep, right? I want to work with you to not just to reset because it's already a new quarter, right? And I want to help you to realign all your frustrations, all your little things, just move it past. Because sometimes I realize that a lot of times most entrepreneurs hold on to the problem as a trophy to solve it. They feel that accomplishment. Whereas you
Yes.
just pass to Andrew, you press 2 buttons, solve lah, bro, move next. Hiya, no kick already, no?
Yeah. Not hard enough. Not
Yeah,
no
there's no
kick.
challenge.
No
So
challenge.
like fixing the wrong things. Let's fight the bigger battles. So yeah, so it's a retreat coming on the 29th, 30th, and the 1st. Reach out to me if you want to know more. Happy to invite you to my orchard, resort as well as a farm. And
Wow.
yeah, that's something exciting for me right now, and I'm focusing on that.
Awesome.
So nice.
Awesome. Guys,
Okay.
if you guys are up, if you guys really want to
Authority Institute retreat.
Authority Institute air or IR, I
That's
don't
a
want to
nice
read.
one.
So yeah, just reach out to Dato on LinkedIn and you guys can connect. And of course, we definitely, want to thank Dato again for this
Pleasure.
really insightful evening. And thanks for all the sharing. And guys,
Tell
thank
your
you so
friends
much.
about it. Get them to watch the replay, please.
Yeah. Tell your friends about it and watch the replay.
This is
Sorry for the
1 hour
hiccup at the very
masterclass.
beginning. It's the 6th. We were just trying to blame Facebook for that. But anyway, it's like, sometimes you have interesting time in life, but nonetheless, this is very insightful.
83 episode and this one has to happen.
Right. Thank you so much, Dato. And guys, thank you so much for listening and watching. And we do this every Wednesday night. This is episode 83. We will see you next week with more awesome content coming to you. If you like, remember to subscribe and share to your friends. And Jason, this is Andrew and Manfred. We have, it's an honor to have Dato James Fu with us tonight.
Yep.
This is it. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Good night.
Dato, stay
Bye-bye.
on. We'll be at the back.
Stay on. We're just going to end this. Stay on, yeah. Yeah.